Gordon Ramsay is invited to your house for dinner. Each piece of criticism he gives about the food awards you $1,000. What are you serving for dinner? First, you have to brag about how amazing of a chef you are. This is critical as Gordon is a nice guy but hates people who suck that should know better. Claim to have graduated from some culinary school or something. Second, gather the ingredients for his famous beef Wellington. Third, don't measure any of the seasonings. Just eyeball. Yes, it needs more salt, why not? Fourth, after letting it rest, freeze then microwave the shit out of it. Fifth, respond poorly to his criticism, thus invoking more criticism. Vanilla chicken. Whatever fits in my microwave. A baby. Boiled chicken breast, blended, served as soup. Gordon Ramsay is way harder on professional chefs than amateurs, so I'd try to make something complex enough that he'll have a lot to talk about and good enough that he can tell I'm trying and won't just be like the wild thing is terrible. I'd put together a sushi bar, some homemade chips and guacamole as an appetizer, and cheesecake for dessert, and some extra strength old fashions. Hopefully he'd comment on how they don't really go together well. I'm with you on team. Make something so strange that he can't stop talking about it. My little brother's signature ground toothpaste and jelly sandwich. Finally, some real fucking food. If I give him something vile, he might not eat all of it, and the longer he's at that table the more money I can milk out of him. So honestly, I'd make him my best dish with a few obviously weird choices thrown in. That way it'll be edible enough for him to take at least a few bites, and seeing how he handles signature dishes on Hell's Kitchen, I'm going to get picked the fuck apart anyway. Bonus points if I learn a better way to make my best dish. Double money if I can talk myself up before serving. And GT, double money if I can talk myself up before serving. This is the real key. I think a lot of other replies are missing. Gordon hates arrogant chefs the most, and spends the most time breaking them down. You'd be rolling in cash if you did that, lol. I've watched an episode or two of Kitchen Nightmares. Here's what's for dinner, in no particular order. 1. Fish that was frozen, but I will insist that it is fresh frozen. 2. I will undercook it, RAW, insist that it is medium rare. 3. Side will be some sort of assorted frozen veggies with zero seasoning. 4. The dessert will be store-bought. 5. I will cook everything in a dirty microwave. 6. I buy some roaches, kill them, your sacrifice will not be in vain, and sprinkle them around where I made the food. 7. I'll take about an hour longer than is needed to serve him the food. 8. I'll have someone else help me cook, doesn't matter who, simply to yell with them in the kitchen. 9. I'll invite other people to dinner and tell them to complain about it audibly, the way that everyone does. 10. Make my place really dirty before everyone comes over for dinner. Doesn't matter what I'm serving. What matters is I'm gonna let him know how amazing I think I am and how he himself couldn't make the meal any better if he tried. He'll spend the first 5 minutes trying to chop down the ego he thinks I have, the next 2 on why my food is dog shit, and the last 10 defending his own ego. You're right, chef. I'm a horrific cook. If you'll excuse me, I have to go deposit this check at a physical bank location because it's over my mobile deposit limit. Edit. While I appreciate all the replies offering sound advice on exactly what kind of shitty meal to prepare, I find it necessary to share my level of dedication to hyping up whatever garbage is on the serving platter. Put it to you like this: Kanye loves Kanye, and I'ma let you finish replying, but I'ma be the greatest ketchup sandwich hype man of all time. Does it even matter? I would just go for quantity. Right, me too. 32 course tasting menu with terribly paired wine sippings for each item. Something raw with no lamb sauce. Maybe my great-grandmother's remains. /2 sentence horror. Jesus Christ, dude. A lot of people here aren't accounting for the fact that if it's so extremely bad, he'll just get up and walk away. No criticism to give, lol. I would just need to cook normally. I won't be cooking, but my meal will be. I've known her for over a decade, and she's been cooking for another 2 decades prior, and I have never met anyone so completely clueless and wholly inept at anything. A roast is a culmination of culinary decisions which leave me screaming internally as I sit with a forced smile and eat. Cauliflower with cheese sauce has become a dish of overbaked cauliflower mush with a square of processed cheese melted on top in the microwave. A massive serving dish of microwaved peas. My god, every plate can drown in an ocean of green if you let it. The roast potatoes are charred black on one side, and slightly undercooked on the other. The roast beef, or lamb or chicken, is overcooked every damn time, but not accidentally by just 5 or 10 minutes, but 30 minutes consistently. The resulting meat has the equivalent moisture of a cardboard box, and very little flavor. No two components of this meal will finish cooking at the same time. Vegetables will often be plated for 20 minutes while waiting for the meat. Once dished, due to the temperature difference, the whole plate will be microwaved for a few minutes. Because of how dry and inedible the meat is at this point, it can only be consumed doused in tomato sauce or a congealed, lumpy approximation of gravy also brought forth from the microwave. I can only hope this leaves my meal with enough money to retire. Step 1. Buy any steak. Step 2. Cook it warmer than medium rare. Step 3. Present to Gordon Ramsay. Step 4. Collect limitless amounts of money as he destroys you, passes out, regains consciousness, and then continues to utterly berate you. Edit. Oh man, 1K plus? Can I retire now? Don't forget to add ketchup all over it before serving. Whatever I would normally serve a guest, mostly because I suspect I'm not getting any money regardless. Not because my food isn't worthy of criticism, but because everything I've heard/seen about him is that he's a dick to people that deserve it. I'm not a professional chef. I'm not trying to represent that I'm awesome at cooking. So he'll probably eat whatever I serve and tell me what's good about it. Now, if I have a restaurant and am charging big bucks, yeah, I'm gonna get ripped apart. But regardless, if he's coming to my house, the only way I see money is if I misrepresent my abilities and think I'm professional chef caliber. You could always ask for how to make your food better. Criticism does not have to be just tearing someone down. Spaghetti meatballs, but instead of meat I will use bouncy balls. Nice to get some money, but hearing him shout rubber, rubber, rubber live is priceless. I'm not going to waste my time cooking. I'm ordering the entire Applebee's menu as takeout. Bon appetit. Beef Wellington except with beef jerky and a Hawaiian roll. I figure he won't criticize it if it's too shitty. He'll just clam up and not give a shit about providing criticism, helpful or otherwise. I'd put serious effort into the dish and make it obvious that I did. That way he'd actually feel the desire to engage and provide criticism. Burger. We will fuck up every bit of it. 1. Patty, burn the crap out of it. 2. Bun, attempt to toast it, end up with one bun burnt to a crisp and the other barely toasted. 3. Cheese, forget to melt the cheese on, place a cold piece of cheese onto the burger last minute. 4. Veggies, be absolutely terrible at dispersing evenly. 5. Condiments, confuse ketchup with hot sauce, mustard with spicy mustard, and mayonnaise with cum, cause why not? What if your cum tastes so amazing that he takes back every criticism he ever made and heaps so much praise you go bankrupt? There's something that smells like something died in my fridge. I'd probably find that and stick it in the microwave for 45 minutes and serve that. Fucking ramen noodles and eggs. Whoa, slow down Mr. Romantic. You're not trying to get a kiss. Roadkill. Everyone thinks it's his usual insults. But criticism isn't necessarily insults. Rarely would anyone take a critique if they were insulted all day. I'd make my best 3-course meal, sit down and ask him genuinely, can you please critique my food so I can learn and make the best food I can absolutely prepare? To get cooking advice from Gordon is like getting the Holy Grail. It would honestly please me to no end to get cooking tips from him. Who knows, you might even have a lovely conversation about food and earn his friendship. Order something from Amy's Baking Company. Alton Brown's version of scrambled eggs. Ghetto hot dog with sandwich bread as the bun, microwaved hot dog, ketchup and mustard packets and mayo. The man loves scrambled eggs, so make him some breakfast and salt the eggs at the beginning. Don't ever take it off the heat. Plate on soggy croissant, pronounce croissant wrong, offer to replace with burnt toast and call it black in flavor. Raw chicken over uncooked spaghetti with an expired can of tomato paste poured over. Tuna and pasta boiled together, with plenty of vinegar. Chicken and cheese sandwich. I make terrible chicken and cheese sandwiches. Also I'd pee on it a little bit. I make a ghost chili that has won local awards. He'll be swearing for hours and I'll finally be able to sell it commercially. Burger King. Steamed hams. Steamed hams. Well, I can't just have him say this is shit. Throw it across the room and leave. I want him to eat it long enough to scream at me as many times as possible. Since the title doesn't specify criticism of the food, I should also be an asshole, have a messy house and an unclean, unsafe kitchen and dining room. I should also have a revolting bathroom just in case he need to use it or sees it as he passes it, since it's right by my front door. All that said, I still have no idea what to cook. Probably like a 4-course meal with a few tolerable mistakes in each dish, and tell him I'm an aspiring chef looking for a few pointers. Then he will be in critique mode and give me lots of cooking advice and make me a lot of money. Edit: a lot of people say the arrogant route, but I think he'd just give enough pointers to hurt your ego and then stop eating. I'd cook all my meals in the microwave, uncovered, for a month ahead of time. For Gordon's meal, I'd scrape down the sides of the microwave to serve as the meal, with a gravy made from the gravel dust in my driveway. Retro SpaghettiOs gelatin mold with a side of perfection salad. I've got relatives in the USA and they have cookbooks as well as recipe cards from the 50s and they are awful. Milk steak boiled over hard with a side of jelly beans, raw. Service 1, toilet water soup. Meal 1, a hamburglar. Literally a ham that gets stolen from his plate. Service 2, Chardonnay de rusty nails. Meal 2, fried eggs with the shell still intact, no salt, no oil. A brick to eat it from. Service 3, Blueberry Mountain Dew pancakes with basilicum and risotto rice, drenched in cow blood. Menu 3, 1 banana peel. Service 4, a fresh Red Bull penis. Menu 4, donut full of habanero, no sugar, raw salt added. Service 5, calcium tabs with some aspirin in old cold brewed coffee. Dessert, Crenshaw melon with belladonna sauce. I feel like he'd just be confused the whole time. Ranch noodles. Spaghetti noodles covered in ranch dressing and drowned in pepper. No salt. Overcooked noodles. If we're counting curse words as criticism, I would straight up shit on a plate and lock the doors. Patented Skinner burgers, old family recipe. I thought we were having steamed clams. Grilled and then microwaved salad on a donut drizzled in lamb gravy. Cold canned creamed corn injected into an otherwise perfect beef Wellington, along with cumin. A cake with dried potato flakes sprinkled on top. Fried Twinkies, except fried in sesame oil. And finally, an off-brand cola with a Coca-Cola label on it opened and poured in front of him over salted ice. It should net me about 10 grand. Undercooked pasta with homemade lobster sauce but left out the salt and used orange juice instead of lemon juice with cinnamon and substitute the lobster for carp meat. By the time his brain is finished processing that mess, he won't shut up on how bad it is until the heat death of the universe. I'll still be a millionaire, even if I did my best. Dunno, wife's cooking. Dinner's ready when the smoke alarm goes off. A criticism, whether positive or negative, is a criticism nonetheless. So all of you have the opportunity to make the most amazing, delicious meal and still get that payday. I'd take a positive criticism over anything else. Corn on the cob, but instead of the corn bone it's a hot dog.